Okay, moment of truth, folks. Let's see what we got here. Okay, what have we got? Oh, I think I got lucky. Even got it the right way around. Get rid of some of this foam here. Okay, let's take a look. Woo-wee! There's some big tubes in the back there. Oh yeah! All right. Looks good. Look at that. Oh no! This is one of the newer models. It doesn't have the devil face on the front. That's a little disappointing. Oh well. I'm sure it won't affect the sound that much. Okay, I'm gonna get the rest of this all unpacked and plugged in, and we'll check some tones out in a couple minutes here. Alright, so we've got this Randall Diavlo RD100H all unpacked and plugged in. Gonna do a few little playthrough demos in a minute here, try to make some big nasty noise with it and see what she can do, but first I'll give you guys a quick little rundown. So this is a 100 watt tube head, just like its big brother the Satan, designed by Mike Fortin. It's a little bit more stripped down than the Satan is, whereas it doesn't have individual grind and girth settings. We got a shared EQ section all the way through. 3 channels, 1 clean and 2 gain. Everybody shares the same EQ channel, master and presence. 6L6 power tubes, 12AX7 preamp tubes, pretty standard. Big beefy amp. We got it running in my Engl 412 straight cab today. 2 mics on here. We got the top right corner mic, which is a Celestion G12H anniversary speaker. We got a 57 on that. And bottom right, we have the UK Vintage 30, also with a 57. The top 57 is kind of right on the sweet spot, right at the edge of the cap and the cone. And then the Vintage 30 were a little bit off the cap ring, a little bit more onto the cone, but dead on, maybe 3/4 of an inch to an inch off the grill. Yeah, good starting point. Actually have a bit of history with this amp. Back when my studio was under construction, I had massively scaled down my guitar setup just to something that would fit in the corner of my living room. So what I ended up doing was getting a little 1x12 cabinet with a Vintage 30 in it and picked up a Randall RD5 head, which is the 5 watt version of this big beefy bastard right here. I really liked it, actually, just for little, you know, living room jams and all that. Very bare bones head. I think there was only 3 controls on it total. There was a gain, a tone, which I think was kind of more of like a shaping knob, and then a master volume. But yeah, the little thing could scream. So I always swore that one day when availability and funds would allow, that I would get myself the big version and try it out. So when I saw this guy come up for a very attractive price, I decided to jump on it. Let's start off. I am playing my Schecter baritone 6-string, running through my pedal board chain straight into the front of the amp. This is, of course, got a set of EMGs, so we'll start off with some pretty hot active pickup tone. We'll start just on the clean channel and see what she does here. And a nice ring, fairly bassy. Actually very musical, very chimey, well-rounded kind of clean tone. I'm surprised. Usually high gain amps tend to shit the bed a little bit when it comes to their clean sound, so I could actually very much see myself recording clean guitars through this so far. So far so good. Let's see what happens if we boost the gain a little bit on the clean channel here. Yeah, so that's the gain maxed out. Might have to bring the volume back a little bit just to compensate there. And so we're just kind of right on the edge of breakup. Alright, this is gain 1 with the channel gain at about the 3 o'clock position, so that's about 75%. Volume's just a little under halfway, and again, bass, middle, treble, all straight up the middle, and presence is just a little past noon, maybe the 1 o'clock position, so. One thing we haven't talked about yet is this built-in boost function. This applies to all channels, so let's just go back to the cleans for a second and see. Weird. It actually gets bassier when you put the boost in on the clean channel, so now let's see what happens on the gain number 1. Before I start dicking around with anything on the EQ side here, let's just see what gain channel 3 does. Let's start with the boost off. Okay, so let's just see here. Channel 3 with the boost off. Channel 2 with the boost on. So immediately, yeah, channel 3 has got significantly more gain. I think even with the boost out on channel 3, it's got more gain than channel 2 entirely. You guys can hear that through the recording, but there is a serious amount of low end coming out of this thing. Okay, so what I've done now is I've pushed the bass up a little past noon as well, so about 6.5. Treble is also up around 6. Presence, I gave it a little bit of a kick in the nuts as well, and took out just a little bit of the mid to kind of demudify things. that's with the boost off now. Not bad, but needs the boost to keep that bottom end under control. That's just there is a lot of aggression in channel 3. Might want to, if I was going to put this through into a recording in a mix with a whole bunch of other bass and drums and everything, I might need to take the bass control on this amp back a little bit just to get it to sit nicely and not, you know, just chunk everything out. Alright, so that's the gain channels. Let's see what happens now if we take out the onboard boost and add on some other overdrive, or we'll try out a few different pedals on it as well. So let's see, now I've got my TS9 that I usually run in front of most amps here on my board. I got it dialed in the way that I like it, with just a little bit of drive, and the, you know, level and tone controls kind of balanced to where I think they sound good. Usually when I run this kind of setup, I'll dial back the gain a little bit on the amp itself and use a little bit more of the TS9 to drive things a bit, but let's just see how it sits at the moment, and then we can kind of mess around as we go. Let's start off with channel 2, no boost, no screamer, no nothing. This is just the sound. And let's bring in the tube screamer. A lot more noise right off the bat. Still pretty heavy, still a ton of low end. Let's just check it out again against the onboard boost on the Randall, which again, more noise right off the bat. The Randall's boost has got a lot more girth to it. Let's try and just use this guy as a clean boost here. So we got tone and level all the way up on the screamer, drive all the way down. Let's take the boost out on the amp and see what we get. Channel 3. This is with no drive. Amp drive. feedback. That is awesome. Yeah, I think I can get away with that, right? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, let's try a couple more things out. I think first, I'm going to replace the TS9 with my Fort and Grind pedal. Let's see what that sounds like. Alright, we're back on channel 2. Haven't touched the gain, haven't touched the EQ or anything like that. We'll start with the grind off, and then I'll kick it in and maybe reach down and dial it up a little bit as we go and see what sounds good. See how this works. Okay, yeah, instantly that, like, it got nastier, it got tighter. We lost a little bit of the bottom end, but that, wow, what a difference that made right away. And that, just the grind knob at noon. Let's see that again, and I'm gonna start dialing the knob, I'm gonna start dialing the knob up and down and see what this does. Oh, that is just all kinds of nasty. What do you think? Should we try this out with a 7-string? Let's do it. Okay, here we go. We have got my Schecter Apocalypse 7, which of course is outfitted with Schecter Apocalypse matching pickups. Still got the grind on for the moment. Let's take that off, bring it back to channel 2. This guitar is tuned down one full step from standard, so that is D through A. Nice and heavy, chunky tuning. Let's just see what channel 2 does here. Might be a little too much bass. Let's check that out. So yeah, the grind really sucks a lot of the bottom end out, which would be awesome for doing some djenty kind of stuff, but I think it takes out just a little too much bass on this guitar. It makes it a little bit weak where it's that low A string. You want to be able to feel it in your gut when you hit it. So let's try. Now that's the ticket. That's with the amps onboard boost on. Again, we're still on channel 2 here. Yes! Let's just try this on channel 3 now. Wow. Holy shit. Yeah, that is all the beef right there. I think for this guitar, and like, especially if you're going for more like an aggressive, raw death metal kind of sound, channel 2 with a boost engaged, little bit of smile EQ going on, so pushing the bass and the treble and taking out just sliver of mids, and it just kicks ass. Why don't we have a listen now to a couple samples in the mix with some bass and drums. Let's check it out. Okay, so there we have it, everybody. First little look into my brand new weapon of war and what I'm sure is going to be my best friend in the studio for the next little while, new Randall RD100H. Overall, I gotta say, this is a fantastic amplifier. Pairs really well with the Engl as well. It's just so chunky, so meaty, so much chug. Thanks for joining me, and we'll catch you guys next time. Till then, keep making noise.